Unit 9 is all about discovering your language. For many of you, you don't have much other writing materials available in your language. Often, Bible translation is the very first time a language is reduced to writing, and it's quite a challenge to find the right orthography and writing system. But most of you will probably choose your national language writing system and implement that in your own language. And you will have to learn where your words should be divided into separate words or if they should be combined together, and how to find good word separation and be consistent in your spelling. So you just have to get going, start writing, and then over time you can analyze your writing and make sure that you are being consistent in your spelling system, use of punctuation, introducing indirect or direct speech. How do you do that? And also you have to pay particular attention to the fact that there's different genres, different speech styles. For example, in poetry or a song, you would introduce that in a different way or write it in a different way as well. When you're introducing different narrative passages, this happened first, second, third, and introductions, conclusions. All of these things need to be taken note of in your own natural way of speaking and writing. It's often very good to listen to good storytellers, get them involved, and see how they would tell the stories, some of the stories that Jesus told. For example, in the parables, how to introduce a parable. In English, it says, this happened, a certain man went or did this. Once upon a time, sometimes you introduce a story like that. In Sena, we said, it happened to a certain man who went and did this, and so on. So just to indicate that this is a story being told by Jesus. So it's important for you to discover your own language, focusing on your own writing system, how you would use your different vowels. Is the language tonal, perhaps? And then how do you use your pronouns? Some languages use lots of pronouns, others use more proper nouns. And some of the pronouns, like, for example, in Sena, in Malawi, he or she is the same pronoun. It doesn't differentiate the sex. For example, in English, you could be singular or plural. So we just have to make sure that we are using pronouns accurately. And when you introduce a new section with a new section heading, you can't just use a pronoun. You need to rather use a proper noun, because people will maybe just read from that section. They don't know who that pronoun is referring to. So we have to be careful in our use of pronouns, make sure that the meaning is being accurately conveyed. And then finally, looking at the big picture, how does your language text flow? It's called discourse, where you start from one point and you end with a good flow of text using good connective words. If it's an argument, how do you structure that? He did this because he was afraid, and various things like that. I know in some languages in India, you would start with the cause first. Because he was afraid, he did this. And even often, introducing the direct speech, they use a verb right at the end saying he said or Jesus said, not at the beginning. So just make sure you do a most natural way of writing your language. Make sure that the spelling is consistent, and use the own natural way of expressing in your own language. Follow the grammar as it is spoken in your own language.